Welcome back. Today, we will discuss scraping GitHub users' activity and data and how to configure this process. You can locate the tool in the marketplace. If you encounter any issues, I have a supplementary video. For the input, you can use the source top GitHub contributors by language and location output. This is one of the outputs generated by the source top GitHub contributors by language and location template. We also have a complete video available. You can sort the results by score and then use them for this workflow. All that's required is the link to the user's GitHub page, which should be found in the URL section. The BrowserAct inputs are simple. Just add the link and define the date for the repository. The agent will stop scraping when that date is reached. Next, we will visit the page and extract the overall data, such as name, location, social media links, and summary. Then, we will navigate to the repository tab. We will then extract data for each repository. The loop will break automatically when the date you defined is reached, or when the repositories are older than that date. Let's get the N8N set up real quick. It's simple. I also added notes to each section so you won't get confused at all. So, I showed you the Google Sheet data earlier. We take that sheet and we read the data, and for each row of data, we're creating a loop. When the loop is done, we send an alert to Slack. Inside the loop, we use the BrowserAct node. If you don't have this node, you can add it from the community. We send the URL and date. The next node's job is to get the task ID from the first node and wait for the job to finish, then get the data. After that, we have a code node. The code node is separating each item, such as user items, links, and repositories. After that, in the green section, we're creating a sheet for each GitHub user if one doesn't exist. Then, we're defining the header inside the edit field node. We define the header you see inside the output. Next, we clear the sheet because we don't want duplicated data. Finally, we add the header case in case we want to map data automatically in the next step. The next section happens thanks to the code node. Inside the code node, we split all the data. Now we can use a split node and loop inside each array. This way, we make sure we can have the data separately formatted inside the Google Sheet. Also, we use the name that we get from the loop node to add the data inside the sheet. I chose this path because I believe it's cleaner, but you can use a spreadsheet for each user and add separate sheets for data, links, and repositories. Also, because we used the field node and then created headers, we can now use the map automatically option without worrying about errors. The final data looks like this. As you can see, each section has its own data: the user, the summary, the sites and links, and the repository and its data. You can change it as you wish. The reason I did this is so you can simply create a table for each section individually, or you can map all of it together or read it inside the workflows. You also can simply copy and paste each part. If you notice, now we have sheets named for each GitHub user, and this structure is used for all of them. Thank you for watching. See you next video.